We're back with another mock draft here on New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. Mock Draft 3.0. We've been doing a mock draft for the last 3 weeks, and we're going to do a new mock draft every single week until the 2025 NFL Draft gets here. And if you're enjoying this series of new picks and new ideas and new selections every week, and you want us to keep it going, hit that thumbs up icon right now. Yo, what's going on, everybody? You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Let's get into it. Mock Draft 3.0. The New York Giants, as we record this video, own the number 2 overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft as they sit at 2-11 so far this season. ESPN is giving the New York Giants a 40+% chance to land the number 1 pick, but we're going to operate this mock draft as if the draft were today, with this set order. We also use the Pro Football Focus Mock Draft Simulator, so if you have a problem with me or this way the draft fell, you can go cry somewhere else. All right, the first pick of this mock draft was Shedeur Sanders going to the Las Vegas Raiders, number 1 overall. If I had to put money on where Sanders is going to go in this class, I do think it is to the Las Vegas Raiders. A lot of smoke around that. He ends up going number 1 here, the Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, the Giants are on the clock at number 2. And look, if I was operating as a general manager, I would select Cam Ward number 2. We actually selected Cam in the first round of this last mock draft, but I keep wanting to go through different types of mock drafts and different scenarios and things how they can unfold. And in this one, we selected the best football player in the country, the corner and wide receiver out of Colorado, Travis Hunter, who probably is going to end up winning the Heisman. I don't know if this is this weekend or this next weekend, but pretty soon he's probably going to be named the Heisman favorite. And look, I can understand why anybody would want the Giants to pass up on selecting a quarterback and going and selecting Travis Hunter. He could be a once-in-a-generation type talent. He already achieved that feat in college football. There has never been a player to do what he has done when it comes to sheer volume of snaps as well as production on both sides of the ball, playing offense and defense in NCAA football. No one has ever done that before. Can he do that in the NFL? That's TBD. And I don't ever have a problem by drafting the best player in the draft. I think with this new GM, if Joe Schoen does get fired, I want him to have a more BPA type of approach. Joe Schoen was trying always to find the biggest need on the roster. You can go back, look at the drafts, and see that. I want a guy that's looking at BPA. And I think you could make the case the Giants need to build up this roster before they add a quarterback. Like, get more playmakers, add more receivers on the outside, add more offensive linemen, and so on and so forth. I don't know if I fully agree with that, but I can understand why anybody would say Travis Hunter is the right pick. Because when you look at what he's done at Colorado on both sides of the ball over his 2-year career there's not many players that can replicate what he did. He was awesome this year in Boulder, 92 receptions, almost 1,200 yards. The guy was averaging 96 yards per game, 12.5 yards per catch, and 14 touchdowns. I really thought he grew as a wide receiver from 2023 to 2024. Almost doubles up his receptions, adds over 500 yards to his receivers, ups the yards per game, and he almost 3X's his total touchdowns. And he was much better, I thought, as a defender as well. He allowed 5 touchdowns in 2023, just 1 in 2024, and 11 pass breakups in 2024 with 4 more interceptions. Look, he's a great player. He's going to be good whatever side of the ball he plays on, whether a team decides to put him at receiver or a team decides to put him at corner or play a little bit of both. He is going to be successful. I want to hear from you, though. What should be Hunter's primary position in the NFL? I don't want to make any bold statement on his career because it's not fair for me to do that because he's one of the most talented players, and I don't want to box him in. But I have a hard time believing he'll play the number and percentage of snaps that he did on both sides of the ball in Colorado as he does in the NFL. So select his primary position, corner or wide receiver. I think the more mainstream and main idea about it is a lot of people are going to say he's going to be a full-time corner, be a part-time wide receiver, and be a kick return and punt return specialist. Kind of like Deion Sanders was. That makes a lot of sense, no doubt about it. My question is he a top 5 corner in this class? I don't really think so. And to me, I wonder if he can ever really reach his full potential if he does try to juggle both of those positions. When I watch this guy's tape, he pops off the field. And he looks like the most athletic player on the football field when he plays receiver. I truly do believe if he fully commits to wide receiver, learns the craft, takes the craft to another level, pairs his athleticism with the technique that it requires to be a great route runner, to be a great separator, I think he could be a top wide receiver in the National Football League while still giving you some snaps on defense and still participating and producing in the special teams department. So I think either side works, but I'm a little bit more intrigued about him being just a full-time wide receiver, playing some spot snaps at corner and being a rotation or more of a return specialist. Look, the Giants lack offensive weapons. You've had the worst offense in the National Football League, it seems like, for the last 5 years. Large part to do with who was under center the last 5 years and the bad offensive line. But if you could have a wide receiver tandem of Neighbors and Travis Hunter with a young back in Tyrone Tracy, I think that's at least somewhat solid of a building block for this offense. At the end of the day, you're walking away with maybe the best player in the draft. I'm okay with that selection. Coming up, the round 2 pick that we had in this mock draft. This one got a little bit spicy. We'll talk about that around the corner. First, though, I got to give a major shout-out to our proud sponsor, Game Time. If you're looking to get last-minute tickets to a sporting event, a concert, a theater event, or a comedy show coming up soon, download the Game Time app and create an account, and then use that promo code CHATSPORTS and get $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply. I've used all of the ticketing apps out there before, and I always come back and use Game Time because I know I'm getting the best seats for the lowest prices guaranteed. You actually can get last-minute tickets, and the app will alert you when awesome deals are going on. They call those flash deals. You get views from the seat in the app, and they guarantee that you get the lowest price. If you use that all-in pricing feature as well as the Game Time Picks feature, you are going to guarantee that you get the best seats for the lowest price guaranteed. So download the app, create an account. Promo code is ChatSports, CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply. Use that all-in pricing feature, use that Game Time Picks feature, and you're going to be extremely thrilled with the deal that you get. What time is it? It is game time. Support the show, support the sponsor, be a real one. All right, the New York Giants were back on the clock at the top of the second round, and Drew Allar was just staring me in the face. Maybe a little bit recency bias, seeing Allar play the way he did against Oregon. I still can't forget that 4th and 10 throw. He looked like Josh Allen on that throw. He really did. 6'5", 240 pounds. He's got all the skills. He's got all the traits that you want in a quarterback. This is someone that was looked at as going to be the savior for Penn State football at that quarterback position. And 2023 was a little bit shaky. He didn't quite deliver on the bill that was promised. But the growth, the execution, and just overall, how much better of a football player tells me that he's only going to continue on that path. The stat that I look at that really just shows me the jump in play and really overall effectiveness is that completion percentage. Jumps up 10 percentage points, 59.9% to 69.1%. And he did that while actually throwing the ball further down the field. On average, he threw the ball 8 yards down the field in 2023 and had a completion percentage of 59.9. A lot of drops for Penn State in 2023, but 59.9 is a very low number, especially in college football. What does he do? He works his butt off all summer. He's in the lab, watching tape, growing his game, and the results showed on the football field this year. The average depth of target goes up a yard, completion percentage goes up. And I know the touchdowns didn't go up and the interceptions did go up, but the eye test tells me that he is a way better quarterback than he was last year, and we're seeing why he was looked at as one of the top high school prospects going into college football. I want to just compare some of these stats. I know you guys, Marshall, too much big-time throw percentage stuff. Well, you know what? If you want me to just use raw counting stats like touchdowns, interception, completion percentage, I'm not doing a good enough job to keep you filled in. So I like to use these numbers. Turnover-worthy play percentage. That is one thing that I really like about Allar's game. I think he does a really good job of taking care of the football. 2 interceptions in 2023, 7 interceptions in 2024, so 9 in the last 2 years, but he has not had a turnover-worthy play percentage of greater than 1.6. That is an extremely awesome number. And I love the fact that he nearly doubles up his big-time throw percentage from 2023 to 2024, and the turnover-worthy play percentage pretty much stays identical. I also like how he's been able to be really aggressive, but also smart with the football when teams have decided to put pressure on him so far this year. When he's been blitzed by opposing defenses, he's still completing 71.5% of his passes on 9.3 yards per attempt. He's thrown 13 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions when being blitzed. So when you decide you want to be aggressive on him, he actually flips the script on you and finds a way to be aggressive and push the ball down the field. Has been solid under pressure this year. Would like to see those numbers be a little bit better. Completes 49% of his passes with just 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. No red flags there, but I'd like to see that number just a little bit higher. Hasn't made a turnover-worthy play under pressure, which is something that I do like. And when you talk about where does he excel when throwing the football? Does he excel throwing the ball down the field? Does he excel working in the mid-range? Does he like working around the line of scrimmage? He's really been solid in all of those regards. You see the PFF grade when he wants to throw that deep ball, 91.2. When he wants to work in a 10 to 19-yard range, it's a 90.3 grade. All of those above 51%. But he's also really accurate near or around the line of scrimmage, 81% completion percentage on throws 0 to 9 yards. I've really been impressed with Allar this year, really when it just comes to the growth. But I still think there is a pretty long way for him to go to be a down-in, down-out starter and be successful in the National Football League. And look, if Brian Daboll is still here as the head coach, Allar is one of those guys that I'd like to pair with him. Look, I'm not going to say that he is Josh Allen. That's not fair. Allen is maybe the best quarterback in the National Football League right now, one of the most talented to play the position. But some of the things that Allar struggled with, especially last year at Penn State, are some of the things that Josh Allen had to have a learning curve when he was coming into the National Football League. Allar is a moldable ball to clay at this point. He does all the things you want. He can throw it. He can run it. He makes big-time plays. He's shown clutch traits this year and not afraid of the moment. Can you turn him into a successful quarterback and be able to operate as the franchise guy? If Daboll is here, I do think that could be a good marriage for those two. So mock draft 3.0. Didn't want to go with the quarterback in the first round. I don't think that's going to happen, but it could. So I want to go through every possibility there is. Travis Hunter in round 1, Drew Allar in round 2. So let me know, how would you grade this mock draft? Get out your red pens for me, A, B, C, D, or F. Sound off for me. How would you be feeling if the Giants walked away with Travis Hunter and Drew Allar? Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram at @MarshallGreen_. Hit me up over there, and let's go Big Blue.